Howdy, folks. Welcome back to the Stupid Big Fat Head channel. I am the Stupid Big Fat Head of Science. And today we are going to be talking about logic. I know. Wrong time of year for that shit, apparently. Um, and for logic, of course, we need coffee. Yeah, so, one second. And just to, subdue the logic a little bit, we'll have a cigarette too. No. So the logic can maintain a train of thought. Yes. Good. We can proceed. I know. I know you're terribly excited. So here's the deal. Pretty simple. The Electoral College is completely unconstitutional. Not because it violates the 13th or Equal Protection Amendment. Okay. Which is a case that's actually being made right now. Appreciate that. But that, again, we have false gateway type arguments that are keeping people from going for the jugular. We were talking about Russian hacking when we should have been talking about Russian propaganda. Russian propaganda elected Donald Trump. Russian hacking of the internet in general. The focus of the algorithms that was complicit with Russian propaganda. Like, it's not a matter of these people were the best at getting the search results. Somebody was on the inside helping them. Okay, you don't get what's happening to YouTube right now with the views and the views being stripped. Okay, I have videos that I know past 90,000 views that are showing up as like 74,000 views right now. I have a video that got 150,000 views in a year, and it hasn't gotten any more views. All of a sudden, it's just no longer appealing to anyone or whatever. And I could have sworn it had gotten more views than that, and it ticked back a little. I've had over 120,000 views total removed from my channel. Every time I post a video, I have 3 subscribers get dropped. Before the video's uploaded, before anybody watches this shit, okay? Dropped. Just automatically. And I see my subscriptions, like the people that I'm subscribed to, I'm just losing my subscriptions. Like China Uncensored, for instance. So they just posted a video about this. If you're watching, hello, Neo. We missed you. That's all I could think of. I don't know. The guy looks like fucking Smith, and, I love that. Because I killed you, Mr. Anderson. I watched you die. With a certain satisfaction, I might add. And then you did something I knew that was impossible. You destroyed me, Mr. Anderson. Oh, it's been a while. I can't remember the whole fucking thing. I used to love doing that. Like, as like a monologue, kind of. Just for shits and giggles. So, back to the Constitution. I really like that channel. If you haven't checked it out, China Uncensored, fucking bang-ass channel. Yes, bang-ass. I just made that into an adjective. I don't really know why. I don't think any of us will ever know. So I'm moving on. I suggest you do the same. Let's take a moment of silence. Okay, we're done. So, I'm going to have to take a moment of silence for the Electoral College because it's dead. It's going to die. Yes. And I'd really be surprised if there weren't people just hunting down and fucking killing the people who elected Donald Trump right now. And I don't mean Democrats. Certainly no liberal would ever do such a thing. I mean veterans of the fucking CIA who understand facts, who understand that the definition of treason is someone who gives aid and comfort to the enemy. Aid and comfort. Aid or comfort, actually. He's not the president. He never will be the president. He's a traitor. You can't be a traitor and be the president. Doesn't happen. He's going to look like he's the president. Don't get me wrong. But he's not the fucking president, and he never will be. And we can actually get out of pretending like he's the president and not even have to wait till we have to waste all the fucking money impeaching him after we spend all this fucking money paying his goddamn rent at his fucking own tower. The Constitution provides for the Electoral College as a group of people who gather and certify vote totals in their districts. It does not say the electors elect the president. It says the electors cast their votes. Yes. So they get to vote in a public process. Okay, because they're the electors. All right. They don't get any more rights than we do. Thank you, Article 4, Section 2 of the Constitution. We don't have to go in amendments to prove that the Electoral College is unconstitutional. All you have to do is acknowledge the fact that the Electoral College doesn't exist in the Constitution. They are electors, not an electoral college. There's nothing collegiate about it. It is not meant to be collegiate. The Federalist Papers are not the Constitution. We've been distracted by them. They were the last vestige of hope for the Electoral College being a viable entity. They have usurped that responsibility, denied it completely, and it is very apparent that none of them ever intended on doing their jobs, according to the Federalist Papers. But then again, just because it's the last hope for any validity to the Electoral College, any purpose for their existence, other than disenfranchising people, the fact of the matter is, the word college is not used. And in the same exact clause of the Constitution, if there's a tie, all of the states don't even have to show up to choose a president. So you cannot make the argument. It is not constitutional. It is a embellishment of interpretation to say that the Electoral College is supposed to protect states' rights. There's nothing about that in the Constitution. In the same clause, it says that if there's a tie, only 2/3 of the states even have to show up to choose the fucking president. So there's no way that the Founding Fathers thought of the Electoral College as a means by which to protect states' rights. They are a group of errand boys. Nothing more. You have been electing invalid presidents. Yes. Namely George W. Bush, who saw Putin's soul. Remember? First one to call on 9/11 and 11/9. Pooty. The Constitution says the electors get to cast their votes. The Constitution also says we the people elect the president. Okay? It says the president shall be elected as follows. And it says there shall be electors. And it says how to make the electors. It says who can be an elector. It doesn't say the electors choose the president. It says they vote. And it says the person with the most votes becomes the president. But guess what? I voted too. Didn't you? So Article 4, Section 2 of the Constitution says that their votes, unless specifically specified, and they're not specifically specified as meaning more than anybody else's, their votes are not implied in any way as being more important than yours or mine. They're just fucking people. Apparently not very decent people. Well, I'm sure some of them are decent people. You know, the ones who aren't criminals and rapists. Wait, no, that's Mexicans, not electors. Excuse me. I need to, get into Trump land or whatever. I don't fucking know. So it says the person with the most votes becomes president if that person has the majority of electors. And this is interpreted as the person with the most electors becomes president if that it's basically a redundant interpretation. They think the person with the most electors, if that is a majority of the electors. So basically, they're saying that you have to have more than half, and it's using a redundant statement with two different words for the subject. Why, if that's the case, would they say votes? Whoever gets the most votes becomes president if they have a majority of electors. Okay. Now, herein you have the reason for the Electoral College as defined in Federalist 68, which is that the population is supposed to be determined in line, in lockstep, not be gerrymandered in any way, not be completely falsely distributed, okay, so that the Electoral College properly represents the popular vote. Okay, these people are supposed to be allocated per number of voters, literally, okay? And the only reason why ever that the popular vote should be overturned by the electors is in the case of stopping tyranny, stopping someone like Donald Trump, someone who has clear violations of interest, conflicts of interest, violations of the emoluments clause, and has demonstrated himself to be a willing accomplice of the United States' number one enemy, and is thus a traitor. He's a traitor. Yeah, they accused Hillary of being a traitor. Big fucking surprise. That's what the KGB does. The worst thing I can find that she actually did was take money from the King of Morocco. Morocco buys weapons from us. They are our ally. Not an enemy. Not giving aid and comfort to an enemy. Not a traitor. And frankly, the Clinton Foundation was used by the CIA, so that's why the KGB hates them so much. Okay? And nothing shady going on there, other than that which keeps you safe, boys and girls. And also safe from things like AIDS and malaria. Okay, I think I just saw, like, legs in the bottom of my coffee cup. Like, there's a broken apart beetle down there or something. Oh my god, what the fuck was that in the bottom of my coffee cup just now? I'm just gonna, like, make myself get a little bit less creeped out by spitting. 1 second, please. Pulverized beetle legs in my mouth in any greater quantity than I had to for the remainder of the video. Damn. I really don't know what the hell. There's something in the bottom of my coffee cup, and it's a little bit distracting. Anyway. So, when you get to that point where it says the popular vote, not the popular, where it defines the popular vote by not using the word electors, it says the most votes. Okay? It's not specifically relevant to the electors. It doesn't say that. It's just in the same paragraph. All that gets defined is how the electors themselves vote, which is apparently supposed to be done publicly for a reason envisioned by the Founding Fathers. Because if they're going to be trusted to carry the votes of your party, well, then they should vote in public, and you should know that they're voting for your party too, right? It's pretty simple. It's not a stretch. Adding the word college to it to make it sound like an institution that can overturn a popular vote, that's a stretch. That is an institution of aristocracy that violates every foundational principle of this country. Donald Trump is not the president, and no traitor should be allowed to become a tyrant in the land of the free. And no coward draft dodger who wants to make peace with the enemy of the free world by kissing their ass is going to take the reins of the home of the brave. Resist. Peace.